Thanks. I prepared the presentation in English, so I hope it's okay to switch to English. The DEVA concept is something that we try to develop, and it's trying to find and develop different design solutions within indoor environment that will create more services in connection to the 3 pillars of sustainability. But in this project, which is financed by the Energimyndigheten, the focus here is on plants, green plants, as a service. What kind of services can we get from plants here in our indoor environment? And even more specific focus is this case study, which is a junior school in the north of Sweden, which is very challenging environment to try. I was in junior school for quite a while, and it was about the 80s, and some things have changed since then. We got a lot of different pedagogical methods and digitalization coming into school in a much wider perspective. For example, the projector there in the ceiling, but also the kids are on iPads to work with. But if we look at the environment, the classroom, that look quite the same. Maybe some difference is that the chairs have wheels. We didn't have wheels in our chairs. So the environment didn't change much, but something has changed. The building become older or elder. And many of them in Sweden were built during the 60s and 70s. They are maybe 40, 50 years old, and they went through lots of changes. Some are positive, many of them are negative. And I can let you see one of the things that happens in the children environment. So this is 4 classroom that our object, test object. And this is the ppm, CO2 ppm. And 1000 is the limit for good environmental conditions. So this is an indicator for indoor environment comfort. And we can see that this is few days in a week in which the children are in classroom, and you can actually see when they are in the classroom, they're reaching the peak. And in this classroom, much over the peak. Something is wrong there. This is what our children are experiencing every day. And this is 4 classrooms in a school, probably more classrooms have the same condition, probably in other schools in Sweden. And we were trying to, can we change something in that? We can, of course, we can replace the old ventilation system. That costs a lot, and municipality usually don't have the money. But can we do something else? Can we use plants to have some positive effects, to get some services into the classroom, different kind of services. What kind of services can we get from plants? So this is our research question. So we gather up a group from different departments from the university, Mid-Sweden University in Östersund, ecotechnology, where I'm come from, design, psychology, and health science. And we're working together in this specific project. The first step was actually to choose the plants. This is a very important step. We don't want allergies. We want plants that can survive. And we want to have a large leaf area, and so on and so on. So we started with 4 different plants, and this is the Swedish name of those plants. And you can find them everywhere in greenhouses in Sweden. They're very popular. And we had many challenges. Safety is absolutely a challenge. That should be safe installation, because this is children and they are quite energetic. So nothing should happen to them. But watertight, that's another issue. We don't want to make the building worse. We want to make something good out of it. But also maintenance. Teachers are busy. Children have other things in mind. It should have low maintenance, should be easy, should not create more work. And there's the other issue of how insects, children are, this is a period of children with lots of hormones and start to get their own ideas in life. They can also misuse the plants in different ways. How can we deal with that? Of course, materials and environment, choice of material, and finally also the cost, which is important for the municipalities, for example. So we use our students in the university, are very talented students, to create 4 different designs. And each of those designs have their own ideas behind it. So here, for example, they created a place for students to study and learn. So this could be a place to sit, or you can fold it down and become a table. Here you can actually change the plants. You can take it directly from the greenhouse and just put it on the shelves, or remove it, or do whatever you want. And maybe use it for in the classroom in somewhere. Those group looked at the aesthetics and create very nice aesthetics form as a picture on the wall, while those students created the pillars of plants that you can move around in the classroom and maybe use it to separate groups of students that they can work by themselves. And they also have different irrigation systems as well, which we are trying there as well. And what are we doing now? So now we are looking what is happening. We made a change in the classroom, and we are looking how it's affecting the dynamic in the class. I'm an engineer, so I'm looking at the physical conditions. But okay, this is interesting from energy perspective, from other perspective as well. But I think the most interesting thing is if we can change those ones, if we can see changes in the working environment, the study environment, mental effect, physical effect, social effect, because we know that comfort, indoor comfort and effectivity of, if it's we that are working in offices, we are very much dependent on the working condition, but also the students, our children are also, their learning activities could be affected by their environment. So this could be very interesting to look at. Can we have a positive changes there? Yeah, so this is the project. We had just installed those designs a few weeks ago, and we are monitoring and adjusting and optimizing the design. So it's a process, and we will continue throughout 2020 or 2020. So this is what we're doing now. The next stage is to try it also in high school, which with its own challenges. So we will take our conclusions and knowledge from this project and apply it in high school. And we have some doing exhibition in Technikers Museum in Nynäshamn. And hopefully we will have, we start discussing about doing a much bigger project in the campus area. Our facilitator want to include plants in our building in the university itself. So this is the plan, next plan for this specific project, how it's continue. And this is the last slide that I got from Sofia.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you. It is extremely many plants you have there. You had 350 in 2 classrooms. Yeah. I was just thinking about how it's extremely many, but how do you deal with that?
With the plants?
Yeah.
We don't water it one by one. It's
no,
irrigation.
But also the space for the pupil, the students. It must take space.
Yeah, and that's another challenge, how not to take much space. And in the beginning, actually, we thought to put everything in one class. Yeah. But very fast, we came into this, we got to know that there's 2 classes in every age group, and that will create problems between the classes. And that could affect the result. I don't think there's a problem to put everything in one class, because they don't take so much space. There are maybe few 20, 30 centimeters thick, and if you put it next to the wall, it's okay. And we would like to put even more. And the question is, okay, how many plants per child? We don't know yet. We have, until now, we have about 4 or 5 plants per child. Is it enough? I don't know. It's interesting to get a number. Yeah.
Wait, we want to have the microphone for the web.
Yeah, no. Okay. Have you done measurements on the effect of having plants in the classroom?
Yeah, and we're doing all the time. So we're getting quite a lot of data already. And this is, for example, from different sensors. But we also did before, we're using for those parameters on the right column. Where is it? We used questionnaires and interviews, and that we will do again and again after, in certain times after the installation. But we already see that from talking to the teacher and the student, the plants are still alive, and that is... I didn't thought that. I thought that the student, the pupils will kill them directly, but they are really concerned when the leaves become not so green. They go directly to the teacher and, are they okay, our plants? And so we get lots of feedback, but we have not measured it yet. But we will do it.
You will do that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yep.